Hey, hi all. Welcome back to BRR Knowledge Center. In this today's session, we'll talk about variables in TypeScript. In the previous sessions, we have seen the TypeScript, types. Now we wanted to see like what are the variables in TypeScript, like how we are going to, define these variables, right? And also how we are going to, assign a value or how we are going to give a variable name. Sorry. So a variable is the storage location in memory wherein you just get the value whenever it is required, or you can store a value in the memory for a further programming access. So this location can be used, right, to store information to be referenced and used by our programs. So like it act as a container for a value in a code and must be declared before use. So we can declare a variable by using generally the default thing is a var keyword, which is a default keyword we used to use in JavaScript also. But in TypeScript, the variables, right, have some naming rules, right, as part of TypeScript. I think the naming rule as of JavaScript variable declaration, how it looks like. The first rule is like, must be an alphabet or numeric digit. Let me write down. So write down for sake of, rules. So variable is a location, right? Variable is a location which can be used to store a value. Variable is the storage location, which is used to store value or information to be referenced and used by program. Got it? So in TypeScript, the variable is going to be defined, right, using different keywords. But the default keyword is let. And when it comes to JavaScript, var keyword, we're generally using it. Okay. So before we talk about how to define a variable, we must see like what are all the variable rules, right? Naming rules uh, we have to follow to give a variable name. Okay. In TypeScript, the variable follows the same, naming rule of right JavaScript. So whatever rules we have in JavaScript, same rules we are going to have it in TypeScript as well. First rule is the variable name must be right. The variable name must be an alphabet or numeric digit. Second thing is variable name cannot start with digit, right? Variable name cannot be start with right digits. Third thing is variable name cannot contain any spaces or special character except underscore and dollar. Okay, the variable name cannot right contain spaces and special characters except the underscore. Even we have same rule in other languages, but in this TypeScript we have a like other character called dollar symbol can be used as part of the name. So as part of ES6 syntax, okay, we can define variable using let and constant keywords. So these variables have similar syntax for a variable declaration and initialization of values. In TypeScript, there is always recommended to define a variable using a let keyword because it provides a type safety. Because the TypeScript itself saying that it is a type safety programming. That's what the main difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. So this TypeScript, that's the reason we are calling as TypeScript is the superior to the JavaScript. Okay, so yeah, in TypeScript, there is always recommended to define a variable using let keyword because it provides type safety. Okay. So what else we have to talk about? I think these three are the naming rules we have to follow. In TypeScript, okay, there is always recommended define the variables using define the variables using let keyword. So what let TypeScript is saying is you use always let keyword to define a variable because it provides the type safety. Okay. So the let keyword is similar to var keyword in some respects, right? And a constant and kind of keyword is an let, which prevents right reassignment to a variable. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, in TypeScript we can define variables using three keywords. Okay, we can declare or define variables using let, var, and constant keywords. So these three keywords we are going to use it as part of defining a variable. Okay. What are all those? Let, var, and constant. So let again, I think it is going to restrict the scope and also having type safety, whereas var is the default way of declaring a variable, which does not have any scope and also not providing any type safety. And when it comes to const, right, which prevents the reassignment to a variable of value. Okay. So what is the variable declaration? We actually doing it. So in TypeScript, we have different ways of variable declaration. Okay, variable declaration. So how many ways we have to define a variable in TypeScript? So we have four types of right syntaxes. The first one is like straight way, that which is something like declare type and value in a single statement. Declare type and value in a single statement. That means variable name and value you are going to give in same statement. Example, right? Let's say var I'm going to say is var. Okay. If you want to define, right? First you give the variable name. That's what identifier colon the type, okay, equal to value. So I can say this as var name, which is of string type, equal to var. Okay. This is very straightforward. The value and the variable name I'm defining in single statement. Second thing is declare type without value. Okay, then the variable will be set to undefined. In this case, the variable will be set to undefined. So when you are defining or declaring a variable without type, or sorry, without value, then it assigns undefined value like var identifier, okay, and this is the type. If you just define like this, like here in this case, var name string, what it will do is by default it will assign undefined. Okay. And third thing is declare its value without type. Declare its value without type. So the second point is declare a variable with a type without value. But in this case, declare a variable without type. Then the variable will be set to any type of value. Okay. In this case, the variable will be set to n. Example, var identifier equal to value. That means var name equal to br or something. Okay. So that means this can be any value. Okay. And next, the fourth one is declare without value and type. Declare without value and type. In this case, the variable will be set to any type and initialized with undefined. So it is just mixing, the second and third. Okay. In this case, the variable will be set to any and initialized with undefined. That means example, right? Where the building is mistake. So just identify. I'm not mentioning any value here or any type to the variable. I just say that var, like name. So that means this default value is undefined and type is going to take any. That means you can assign any type of value to this particular variable. So these four are the right type of syntaxes you are going to use it in TypeScript. Okay. So this is something we are talking about a variable declaration. Now we'll see like what is var. So var keyword. This is what the keyword we're talking, right? So what is this var? So this var keyword generally used to declare variable in JavaScript, right? We can also declare a variable, right? Outside a function or inside a function or in anywhere in any place we can declare using var, right? So we can access a variable one function with other function as well as. So what we need to talk about here is the scope we need to think about. So if you define a variable var, right, variable declared in JavaScript, right? For other language programmers, they're getting some hard scoping rules for var declaration. Whereas in TypeScript, the var keyword have function scope. This variable has global scope in the function where they are declared. It can also be accessed by any function which shares the same scope. Okay, so that's the reason the TypeScript is not preferring this type. Okay, so generally, generally we use var to declare variables in JavaScript. In TypeScript, with the var, right, with the var keyword, we have functions. We have function scope. This variable, this variable has global scope function where the are declared. It can also be accessed by any function which shares the same scope. Okay. For example, if I'm going to declare a variable, right, instead of any function or outside a function, I can straight away use that in TypeScript, like function of, right, function. Or else we try to, explain in this way. So I'm just writing a function of f, okay. Instead of this, I'm just declaring x equal to 5, available globally inside of f, right? And I say this, if true, just say like something, just assigning it, var y equal to 10, available globally instead of f again, right? So console dot log of x, because I can access that. Okay, the problem. Console dot log is not finding. Like so, script variables. Any? Okay. I think as we have other programs, it's just showing that limit. So why I'm just printing it. Okay. So what it will do is it will just print x and y values. So after this loop also, right, I'm going to use x because it's globally defined. Also console.log y, it can print it. Okay. Also after closing of this function, I'm just calling this function. Now when I say console.log of x, okay, this returns undefined because value cannot be accessed from outside function. Correct? Only what wherever I define this, instead of that, it is going to have scope. That means available globally inside of f function. Okay. Let me try this and so that you will see what's the problem here. Let me go back to my command prompt B. So here I have TypeScript. So I'm going to execute this. Yes. Okay. It is going to give me a JS file because I'm just compiling this. Look at here, the 17th line. It is saying that, right, the scope, right, whatever the scope, it is having it only instead of F. You are just giving it outside. And so it is saying, right, can't find name X because you are mentioning outside of, right, this function. Now go back here and try to run now ts variable demo.ts. Now it will compile it. Okay. To execute this, just try JS. It is just printed 5, right? 10, again 5, 10. Okay. So that's what the purpose of, the difference of this var keyboard. Okay. So we'll see the let and, a constant keyboard in the next session with some examples. Okay. Thanks for listening to this video and please subscribe the channel for more videos. Thank you.